Now at 6, a San Diego family stuck in Honduras finally heads home, and they open up to CBS about their reality. Plus, a coronavirus relief bill hits an unexpected obstacle, and the number of coronavirus cases spiked over the weekend in the county, including the first death. We are live with how we can remain vigilant in preventing spread, and how a local community found a way to come together amid this stay-at-home order. The positive stories you're going to want to hear on a Monday.
This is News 8 This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Eric Hunter. News 8 is continuing to do its part to keep our staff safe and healthy here. I'm here in the studio. The rest of the team is reporting home now, but let's check in with Stella Escobedo.
Good morning, Eric. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for waking up with us. We do have a lot to get to, so let's go ahead and start with the facts right now. There are 205 confirmed cases countywide. That is almost double of what it was last week. One San Diego resident has died from COVID-19. News 8's Neda Rampor is going to talk about that situation coming up in just a moment. We're going to check in with her coming up in a live report. Meanwhile, though, first, nationwide, there are about 33,000 confirmed cases. 417 people have died. The Senate failed to pass a nearly $2 trillion stimulus bill last night after Democrats said it didn't do enough to help workers. Republican leaders say they'll try to vote on the same bill again later today unless a bipartisan agreement can be reached. The declaration is needed to free up federal resources to get supplies and financial aid to the hardest hit states more quickly. And Eric, I know a lot of people need help and they need it now. And the unemployment rate, we should be hearing those numbers later this week. And it's expected to go up very, very high. So the government, our leaders want to get help to people as soon as they can.
All right, let's check in with Heather Myers now for a look at our forecast as we get out the door here. A lot of rain falling in parts of the county. Bear with us, everyone. We're trying to do our best with the technology that we have here. Sometimes the audio fades in and out, so we'll try to get back to Heather and to Jenny here in just a moment to get the latest on the forecast as well as the traffic report here. A new reality is sinking in as we deal with a new week here in the coronavirus outbreak. More than 343,000 cases now worldwide, more than 14,000 deaths globally, including nearly 500 now here in the U.S., and that includes our first death, sadly, here in our county. News 8's Neda Rampor is live at UC San Diego Medical Center in Hillcrest now to break down these local numbers. And Neda, there's a big push to help our medical workers right now. A lot of people have medical supplies, and the medical community really needs this.
Yeah, a lot of nurses, healthcare workers are asking for those N95 masks, protective gear. In fact, they had a protest here last week requesting for more protection so they can be healthy when they, do address these patients that are coming in. So we want to get into that here in a moment. But the number of cases, also want to mention here in San Diego County, has gone up nearly 50 people in one day. And as far as that first fatality in our county, an unidentified San Diego resident, he was in his early 70s. Was being cared for in Santa Clara County, and he recently had returned from a trip to Hawaii. That's the information released from the local Health and Human Services Agency. The health department now saying on Sunday the cases in our county totaling 205. That's a jump of 46 cases in one day. And of those people, 178 of them are county residents, 11 in federal quarantine, 41 patients have been hospitalized, 16 of them in the ICU. San Diego County officials have said the availability of beds in our local ICUs has now gone up, and so has the number of respirators. But county's chief medical officer wants anyone with any possible symptoms to call first.
That if you develop symptoms that are concerning to you, please take the appropriate act of initiating contact with your healthcare providers. It has been stated adequately, we do not want folks who have low-grade fevers and mild symptoms showing up at any of our healthcare facilities.
Now, as I mentioned, UCSD Hillcrest, the site of a protest last week. Nurses were asking for that protective equipment. Members of the California Nurses Association speaking out against what they say are inadequate protections when dealing with coronavirus patients, saying this is not the time to be weakening our standards and protections. Now, UCSD Health says that it does not have a shortage of personal protective equipment, but they are carefully managing the supply, adding they're following the CDC's latest guidance on masking. That means they're moving to droplet and contact protections, like using gloves, gowns, eye protection, and face masks instead of N95 respirators. Now, those N95 respirators are being used in the ICU and while nurses are doing more complicated procedures like intubation. But really, the nurses, their doctors here in our county, their main message is that they need to stay healthy so they can continue to keep our community healthy. And that's the latest here from UCSD Hillcrest. Back to you.
Netta Ranpur live for us. Thanks for the update there. As part of the federal response, the USNS Mercy will deploy from Naval Base San Diego today and head to Los Angeles. More than 800 Navy medical personnel and 70 civil service mariners will be aboard the hospital ship. Their mission is to provide relief for shore-based hospitals, providing a safe place for non-COVID-19 patients while allowing health professionals on land to focus on the outbreak. The Mercy's sister ship, the Comfort, will be docked in New York. Another issue now being addressed is Americans stuck abroad amid the recent travel ban. Vice President Mike Pence says the U.S. government is doing its best to bring Americans back home. And Stella has been in touch with a San Diego family who went on vacation to Honduras. And Stella's back with us here now. I know you've been in constant contact with this family. Any luck, any good progress to report here?
Yeah, some good news. They are back home finally. I've been in touch with them for a week now. They've been trying to get out of Honduras because nobody was allowed in or out of the country. So yeah, they were able to get on what's called a humanitarian private chartered plane. It's an expensive option worth thousands and thousands of dollars, but they have two small kids here at home. The grandparents are watching them. So much uncertainty in Honduras. So they needed a way to get back home, and they took that plane. I caught up with them when they landed in Houston. Take a listen.
How does it feel to be back on U.S. soil after everything?
Amazing. I mean, amazing. We will see our children tonight. This is the only thing we've been working for a week.
And just a huge relief and weight off our shoulders. So.
Are you guys ready for what's ahead, especially with the stay-at-home orders here in San Diego? I mean, they're pretty scary.
No, we're not ready. We have a small business. We haven't really gone through, what that means for the business. And then we had been on kind of a small location on the island where we were not around a lot of people by design. And now, obviously, we understand that we have to stay at home, stay shelter in place, and that's going to be an adjustment for sure.
We'll do whatever it takes to support the leadership at the state and local level as the American people confront the spread.
And yesterday, during the task force update, Vice President Mike Pence said the U.S. State Department is doing their best to bring Americans home. He says so far they've helped out 3,000 Americans. Now, if you know someone who needs help, they need to get home, head to step.state.gov, or you see the number on your screen. It's 888-407-4747. Don't worry, we're posting all of this information on our website. Just head to cbs8.com. Now, Stephanie and Russell say that they believe there are hundreds of more Americans stuck abroad, stuck in Honduras. The big concern for so many people is that some people are running out of medicine, so they need to get home as soon as possible. And they do tell me they want to give a huge thank you to Scott Peters' office here locally, because they were very helpful with all of the information. So, Eric, they're not alone. I'm still getting information and tweets from families who have loved ones, or them themselves are reaching out to me and saying, hey, you know what? I'm still stuck here. No word. It's really just a lot of uncertainty. But as I mentioned earlier, Stephanie and Russell, they took a humanitarian private chartered plane, a very expensive option, but people are just desperate to get back home.
Yeah, not everyone has that option. I'm sure glad that they're back. And a lot of people are just relying on foreign governments to work with our government to get back here. So what a mess.
Yeah, a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, all right, we'll check back in with you again very shortly. Thanks, Stella. A college student from San Diego has also been stuck in Peru trying to get home to the U.S. Listen.
We showed up at the airport and it was just pure chaos.
Jared Petrie is from Rancho Penasquitos. He's a student at UC Santa Barbara and has been studying abroad in South America. He and his girlfriend are trying to get back home, but Peru closed its borders last week due to the coronavirus pandemic. Their flight to Los Angeles was canceled. Petrie shared these photos from the airport.
It was a really scary scene, like not very hopeful in getting any flights home. Everybody was in the same situation.
To help us push back again.
Well, after Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced the creation of the Repatriation Task Force to help U.S. citizens come home, a handful of chartered flights had arrived in the U.S. from Morocco and Peru. Petrie was told it could be anywhere from 15 to 30 days before he and his girlfriend are able to come back home, but he's doing his best to remain optimistic. And that's all we can really do right now is hope, wait, and pray. It's an historic day here on Wall Street. For the first time in 228 years, the New York Stock Exchange will open without its trading floor. It comes after 2 employees tested positive for the coronavirus last week. So the bell's going to ring at 9:30 East Coast time, 6:30 our time. Trading will begin just like normal here, but there won't be any humans doing it. Friday's close on Wall Street, by the way, marked the market's worst week since 2008. We will check in with Wendy Gillette, who is live outside the New York Stock Exchange this morning in the next half hour to see how those numbers open up when they do here, just in about 20 minutes. You know, with so many businesses temporarily closing, there's a lot of financial uncertainty right now. Many people finding their hours reduced or their jobs gone altogether. However, there are companies who are hiring right now. Heather Myers is back now. She compiled a list, joins us live with more. Quite a few companies on this list here. It's growing, too.
You know, Eric, I was so surprised because I thought, people right now are feeling down and out, anxious, or maybe even depressed about their job situation. So I started compiling a list last night, and I filled up a full page of paper of companies who are hiring right now. So spend today refreshing your resume, and these companies want that application right away. So let's start with national retailers, and Amazon was one of the companies that said it's right now looking to hire 100,000 more workers. Of course, there are distribution centers for Amazon right here in San Diego County, so that could be an employment opportunity for you. Walmart is looking to hire 150,000 more employees right now. 7-Eleven stores are hoping to hire 20,000 more people. The grocery industry obviously needs a lot of help, so Kroger, which owns the Ralph stores and the Food for Less stores, needs to hire 10,000 new employees nationwide. Also, I checked in with Costco and Trader Joe's. Both say they are hiring here in the county on an as-needed basis. Albertsons, Aldi, and Target stores are also hiring. Pizza Hut and Domino's both need employees for thousands of jobs nationwide. And ZipRecruiter says help wanted ads for cleaning and sanitation companies surged by 75% in just the past couple of weeks. Also, online learning companies need to hire teachers. One company called OutSchool says it's looking to hire teachers right now. There was a report online that OutSchool might be looking to hire as many as 5,000 teachers, so I contacted the company and I haven't heard back from them quite yet, but I'll keep you updated on that. Remote communications companies such as Zoom and Slack are hiring. Also look for jobs in manufacturing. That industry is rapidly changing to keep up with the latest demands in the wake of the coronavirus. And don't forget, it was only a couple of months ago that the government said that they would be looking to hire 500,000, 500,000 census workers to fan out in communities across the United States to assist with the census. Now, obviously, with the coronavirus outbreak, they're likely not going to want people out in the community, but they haven't revised that business model. So you might be looking for an opportunity there. Perhaps they're going to take it online, and it may be a work from home opportunity. So we haven't heard anything quite yet, but there could be hundreds of thousands of more jobs with the U.S. Census. That's another avenue we'll keep you updated on. Eric, though, for now, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Heather, thanks for that. Yeah, not surprised that Zoom, the video communications company, is hiring. Everything is being done online, all the meetings that need to happen. So great to see that long list of opportunities. Thanks for that, Heather. Still to come here, earthquakes rattled areas around the world over the weekend, including right here in California. Plus, just a little over a week after being sentenced to time in prison for rape and sexual assault, former movie mogul Harvey Weinstein faces yet another setback. Plus, we'll dive deeper into a study that looks into a possible medication for the coronavirus. It is promising. I'll tell you all about it when I break it down next.